Asaraf Metreon Sithos! Next chapter. Raindrops lifted Trixie onto her back. Come on, let's get you home. Trixie continued to cry quietly into Raindrops' mane as the weather mayor carried her back to town. Ditsy flew over the top, gently lumbering Trixie's back to offer comfort. About halfway back, the tears stopped. Raindrops carried her all the way back to the residency. Carrot Top separated early on to get some supplies from her farm. She made it back shortly after the rest of the group made a beeline for the kitchen. Cheerily and Lyra removed her cape and hat while Ditsy got a fire going. They then set the representative down on the couch and laid a blanket over her as Lyra and Ditsy sat either side of her. Any protest Trixie might have given were incomprehensible. She looked better than what she had at the crossroads. She was still a few shades paler than normal. Despite her efforts to hide it, was quivering. Ditsy draped a comforting wing over her friend. How are you feeling? The mailmaker asked. Honestly, Trixie sighed. I don't know. Carrot Top came in with a steaming tub of tea on the tray. Here you go, she said as she placed the tray in front of Trixie. This should help. Thank you, Trixie said quietly. Her face became strained as she tried to lift it with her magic. When she failed to even light up her horn, she settled on lifting the cup with her hose. They were shaking so violently that the cup almost slipped out of her grip. Luckily, Lyra stepped in with her magic to help her keep it stable. Raindrops took Carrot Top to the side. I'm worried, the Pegasus stated. There was an intense duel, but Trixie wasn't even this rattled when we dealt with Corona. Maybe we should take her to the hospital. Would anybody there be scared of dealing with voodoo victims? Carrot Top asked rhetorically. Besides, the clinic staff will evacuate with the rest of the town. They won't be set up again until sometime tomorrow. And that tea there has chamomile and lavender to help with nose, as well as my personal blend of curative herbs in case that smoke Gabe used had something extra in it. The weather pony paused. And you have your own personal blend for something like that because... Let's just say I once learned a valuable lesson about double-checking wild mushrooms before eating them. Carrot Top replied. For now, the best thing to do is to keep an eye on her, and if she gets worse, we go to help. You know I'm rattled, not deaf, the representative stated. Ditsy turned to Charlie. You sure Pokey and the mayor can handle Caleb? Charlie nodded. Pokey said he was going to call in help from the Apple family to help stay on top of the situation. Ugh! Caleb yelled as angry as both Applejack and Red Gallus album. Police brutality! Police brutality! We done told you, Applejack said. I hate police brutality when we hate the police! Yup, Red Gala added. So mind telling me how Gala pulled off that last attack? Charlie asked. I thought you said you couldn't break a pack. You can't, Blue Unicorn answered. The deal was that if I won, he wouldn't harm anyone or anything in Ponyville. So we weren't in Ponyville when he attacked me, Trixie explained. Packs follow the letter, not the spirit of the agreement. Doesn't that mean he could still come after you when you're not in Ponyville? Lyra asked. My concern was protecting the town, the professor replied. So you don't think this is over? Raindrops asked. No, Trixie stated. This won't be over until Caleb decides it's over. So how are we going to do that? Trixie didn't answer. She had put her hose together in contemplation. She stayed in that position for at least a minute. I realize this doesn't help when I want to say that Alicorn trick was really cool. Also, if you play another Mass Trixie music number, I'd be happy to help with the harmony. I heard you off once you realized Trixie wasn't responding. She's fallen asleep, hasn't she? I think so, Charlie replied. Help me get her to bed. Morning came, and the guards arrived to collect Gale from the town hall. Once Gale was secure in chains and all his personal effects were confiscated, they escorted him to the train station. As they arrived at the platform, they were gathered by a haggard-looking Trixie. Can I have a moment? The representative asked. After a moment to make sure the restraints were secure, the guards nodded and walked up the platform. Here to know about your victory, Gale asked. Some pony I once called a friend tried to kill me. I don't consider that a victory. Well, in my defense, you did bite me and called me a hate-filled revenge monkey. You tried to set me on fire, the unicorn replied. There's no defense for that. The sea brother didn't respond right away. When he spoke again, he kept his tone neutral. What do you want? Tracy suppressed a sigh. She realized that a apology would have been unlikely. She's still been hoping for something. Look, I'm just gonna bite the bit and ask, can we not be enemies? The voodoo-wielding miscreant blinked twice. What? Caleb, this retribution cycle we have going on isn't really going to get us anywhere. I mean, you do something to make me miserable, I do something to stop you, and that ends up making you even madder at me. At this rate, some point it's going to end up hurt, Tracy explained. Now, I'm willing to put this all behind me, and I ask you to do the same. It's easy for you to say that, the Sabrani shot back. You're not being shipped out to prison. You're right, it is easy, Trixie agreed. What's also easy is writing a letter to the princess, tell her you're a threat to national security, and ask you to be thrown into the deepest hole we can find. Gil's eyes narrowed slightly at that. Is that a threat? It's a dazzler reality. Something you sometimes forget about, Trixie countered. You seem so intent on being my enemy that you seem to forget what that entails. You have the ability to be a major player in my flank if you want to, but you're still just one jabroni. I have my friends, this town, and the law itself on my side. Trust me when I say that I'm not just worth the effort. And the fact that I hate you is just a technicality? Caleb asked mockingly. Exactly. It is your equestrian right to hate whoever and whatever you want, but that doesn't mean you have to be my enemy. I hate the signed series of books, but that doesn't mean I try to destroy every copy I come across. The blue mare held out her hoof in a diplomatic gesture. So, you could either continue being my enemy, which hasn't really gone well for you, or we could call a truce, and I can try to pull some strings to make your sentence more comfortable. Your choice. The Sabroni looked at Tracy, skeptically, before finally giving a shrug. I'll think about it, he answered. Tracy smiled. It wasn't an official ceasefire, but it showed promise. Though tell me one thing, Gale stared. How close was I to being you, Natul? Tracy paused for a moment and shrugged. To see close the distance between them. Well, between you and me. She lowered her voice to whisper, not close enough. Caleb gasped as the representative walked away without another word. Touche, Little Moon. Touche. The guards loaded Caleb on the train, taking him to the train car that contained a holding cell. Caleb entered the cell and made himself comfortable on the cot as the cell door slammed shut. He was going to try to get some shut-eye, but was interrupted by the sound of hoof-tapping metal bars of the cell window. He opened his eyes and saw one of Trixie's friends, the Jasmine Pegasus, standing there glaring at him. What do you want? Just wanted to tell you something before you left. And no, Trixie doesn't know I'm doing this. I just thought you should know that I don't like you. Pact or no pact, you ever mess with my friend again, then I'll personally double the number of joints in your skeleton. And that's only after the other knights are through with you. Clear? Raindrop said with an angry snort. How is that even physically... Oh, realization hit Caleb like a sack of bricks. Yeah, clear. The hovering mare snored before turning and leaving. The Sabrani sat in his cell on the train. Once the guards had been sure he was secure, they had left Caleb alone to stew. His attempt to sleep in had been thwarted by the rattling of a train car. It had barely been 10 minutes, he was already starting to get stir-crazy. Oh, come on, he yelled out to deaf ears. If you're keeping me locked in here, at least give me something to pass the time. If confinement is causing you irritation, then perhaps I can offer you liberation. A cloaked figure stepped out of the shadows. This caught Gale's attention. Who are you? Somebody that you did impress with the talent that you possess. The figure lowered their hood, revealing themselves to be a zebra mare. Your school of the duel made me pause, for I believed you would be great help to our cause. The Sabroni raised an eyebrow. Your cause? To correct the actions for which Luna must atone, and to get the rightful princess on the throne. At that moment, the pieces fell into place in Gale's mind. There have been rumors about a zebra that had gone off the deep end and was serving Corona. The Sabrani paused. Satara, was it? Sakura is my name, she said in mild irritation, though inspiration is most likely to blame. I don't mean to be crass, but if you keep on rhyming, you can kiss my argh! Gale was cut up by Sakura swatting a woman into her nose. Not the face again! If all you say is a jest, then your sentence would be for best. Gale stared at the zebra. It's hard not to jest about the idea of you coming to me for help. He gestured himself. This isn't exactly the winner's circle. The fact that you lost, I cannot deny, Sakura agreed, but your skills managed to catch my eye. The stallion raised an eyebrow. Really? You showed resourcefulness, talent, and precision, she complimented, but you lacked his proper vision. Vision? Your voodoo skills had your enemy in your grip. What you needed was proper leadership. And that is when you lost me, Gale stated. I better get along with the current government. Do you honestly think I want to live somewhere ruled by a pony known as the tyrant's son? Queen Celestia is her name. The Sakura's voice took on its warning tone. And you shall call her the same. The first act back was to demand surrender and cancel that, Gale continued. Now that city can turn to dust for all I care for how long she sets her sights on the other cities, like New Orleans. Don't be so harsh when she's only trying to protect her little ponies. 4 things, Gale began. 1, that was incredibly forced. 2, I would rather be unprotected than give up my freedom. 3, I was holding ponies hostage in a campfire, consider protecting them. And 4, what happens if she decides that in the interest of keeping them safe, she decides to make Equestria a pony-only state? Then what would happen to me and my family? I may not like Luna for putting my brother in jail, but at least I know where I stand as a citizen. Before you resolve your harden, remember the ruler could grab your pardon. The Sabrani actually paused at this. He had to admit there's some truth to what Sakura was saying. If he helped Corona gain the throne, he could borrow his brother's release and negotiate protection for all Sabranis, and yet, I may hate him for his choices to it, but Luna is, and has always been a good, fair ruler. I may be willing to break the law, but try to lie to treason, especially since the success of your coup d'etat seems like a bad campaign to me. Sakura dared Gale up to let aside. Though my disappointment I must voice, it's ultimately your choice. Gale paused. Yeah, it is. He seemed to be genuinely surprised by this himself. Though if you let me out, I promise not to. He trailed off when he realized Sakura was gone. Still can't believe that jerkwad got only a few years with a chance of early release, Raindrops fumed. He deserved at least a couple decades. It had been a few days since the duel, and Trixie had just gotten word of Gale's trial. He just started by to deliver some weather reports, so she brought her to speed. Well, they couldn't make much of a change to stick, since we couldn't prove any of his actions, aside from attacking me after the duel, Trixie explained. He also pled guilty to reduce the sentence further. Yeah, I get that. Still doesn't mean I like it, Raindrops responded as he gave the letter another read. And what's this about them taking your advice into consideration? Trixie paused. I may have made some suggestions regarding Gale's incarceration. Raindrops raised an eyebrow, but didn't ask for her to elaborate. After a brief farewell, she flew off to return to the weather station. Later that evening, Trixie put away the last of the documents she had been distracting herself with. She sighed and walked to the hall closet, beginning to rummage in the back cells. Finally, she pulled out a small box. Once she was alone, she opened it, revealing trinkets from her childhood she hadn't looked at in a while, including an old pearl scarf. Those who spend too much time in the past end up living there. Trixie looked up, and standing in the doorway was a too familiar elderly Sabrani mare. Hello, child. Celine! Trixie raced forward, wrapped her hose around the elder mare. The two stood there for a moment, enjoying the embrace. You're quivering, Celine stated. Well, on the one hoof, it's really good to see on the other. On the other hoof, I'm hugging a voodoo queen whose 2 grandsons are in prison because of me. The Sabrani like a good tinker chuckled. Firstly, child, I'm not a voodoo queen. I'm the voodoo queen. Secondly, it was my grandson's own actions that led them down this path, not yours. Trixie got outside when she disengaged from the hug. Doesn't mean I feel bad about doing that to you. You know what the purpose of voodoo truly is? Freedom to follow your own destiny, Selim explained. While it saddens me their journey has taken them down this route, I have faith that it will lead them to their true destiny. Tracy blinked once. That's a really spiritual way to look at this. Believe me, it's the only thing keeping me from finding the prison where they're being held and dealing with them personally. A few years of night terrors might them do them a world of good, the elder replied, as he seemed to know as Trixie's keep. You know, Quarter Moon would be so glad seeing you wearing that. Trixie glanced down at it. Yeah, you know, just doing my best to keep my grandfather's legacy alive. Celine touched Trixie's cheek offensively. Child, you're not keeping this legacy alive. You are his legacy, and he would be proud of the man you've become. A singer talent found down Trixie's cheek. Thank you, she says. He quickly wiped away. So, what brings you to town? Well, my main reason was to see you, but also pick up Gale's effects and clean up any of his remaining messes. I trust you secured the supplies. The unicorn rubbed her hose nervously. Well, you see, I had this friend who was seriously dermatology. You know how hard it is to get hold of certain ingredients. So I was wondering if maybe... Silly silenced the representative of Ray's huff. As they say, to the victor goes the spoilers. This promise me to be careful. Trust me, she won't do anything I wouldn't do. That doesn't fill me with confidence. The Voodoo Queen pulled out a long, thin box and gave it to Trixie. Here. Trixie looked at the box. What's this? Think of it as a late graduation present. Curious, Trixie placed the box on her desk and opened it. Really, a single face feather, with a tiny bit of tip cut off. No, I can't accept this. Trixie's voice trailed off when she noticed the name had advanced. Then she saw a note with the feather. You have a bright future. Make the most of it. This brought a smile to her face, but also reminded her of something else. She went to a drawer and pointed out a piece of paper. She hadn't told anybody, but when she had been surrounded by soulfire, she had seen something, at least an image of something. The problem was, unlike her first time gazing at the soulfire, she had time to focus on the image. The recollection of what she had seen, hampered by the state she was in after the duel. When she was finally able to put the image to paper, the end result looked like a misshapen weasel with horns. She stared at the image, hoping to get some clarity, but ultimately stuck the paper back in the drawer. That was the aspect of the future she would have to deal at a later date. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sound of a toilet flushing. Trixie raced to the sound in time to see Zillion stepping out of the bathroom. Sorry, dearie. At my age, you can't keep it in long, Brony stated. Kinda ruins the mystique, I know, but that's life. Take care. She then calmly walked out the front door, leaving Trixie there, dumbfounded. Gale was led to a cell by a guard each side. It's bad enough I'm stuck in this place, the Brony grumbled. Do I need to be naked as well? This is just demanding. The guards remained stoic as ever, but it was clear they were to be soon rid of him. Once they had him in a cell, they almost smiled as they shut the door on him. Almost. Gale turned to his cellmate. Look, I don't know the sort of newcomer you had hazing in mind, but I tell you right now. He trailed off when he realized who he was sharing a cell with. Hello, little brother. Pinky bounced around happily, usually springing her step as she passed the various goings on. She paused when she saw Red Gal in the apple stall. Hi, Maxon! Pie guy, Red Gal hissed. Oops, sorry, Pinky said sheepishly. Forgot about the secret identity. Red Gal sighed. It's fine. Aw, why's a clown? The party mayor asked. I'm a mayor, the apple farmer said fatly. I know. Isn't it awesome? Awesome. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Getting to see things from the other side, Pinky explained. I've always wondered what it would be like to be a stallion. I mean, you're usually taller, so I bet you can see further. You got a lot stronger teeth, so I bet you carry twice as many cupcakes. That just feel weird when you got Pie guy! Come on, Red. The events will wear off eventually, so make the use of it. There must be something you were curious about doing if you became a mayor. Red Gal suddenly avoided eye contact. Nope. Oh, there is! Pinky cried out excitedly. Drop it. The red mare growled a warning. Oh, come on, the baker persuaded. Tell Auntie Pinky all about it. Red Gal was resistant for about 30 seconds before she let out a frustrated groan. Even as a mayor, it was downright impossible to say no to Pinky. They gestured for the party mayor to come closer, then whispered in her ear. Pinky's eyes widened and her jaw opened slightly. The farmer mayor sighed the reaction received. Yeah, I know. Pinky was interrupted. She was interrupted by Pinky getting right to her face. Let's do it! What? Oh, no. You can't tell me something this juicy and not expect me to make it happen, Pinky said firmly. We are doing this, and it's going to be good. Red Gal could only gulp. Alright, let's start this one nice and easy. Red Gal kept her voice low and sensual. Then we're going to finish this nice and rough. She took a step closer to the microphone. And we're rolling down the river. She gently waved her hips. The golden form-fitting dress she was wearing sparkled as the bright light hit it from different angles. You people would be surprised at the songs I know. Hit it! Left a good job in the city, working for the mayor every night and day. And I've never lost 1 minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Red Gal was enjoyed by her backup singers, the Spa twins, Lois and Nalo, both dressed in matching white dresses. Big wheel, keep on turning, Thrill's belly, keep on burning, and we're rolling down on the river. The 3 mayors were on stage at Town Hall in front of a packed crowd. Pinky and Rarity were in the front row, admiring their handiwork. Just as I told you, hobbyists. Clean a lot of place in Memphis. Sold a lot of pies down in New Orleans. But I never saw the good side of the city till I hitched a ride on the riverboat Queen. Big wheel keep on turning, Pebbles keep on burning, and we're rolling on the river, and we're rolling on the river. The river. The 3 mayors then gave a twirl as the music picked up in tempo. I left a good job in the city, working for the mayor every night and day. And I never lost 1 minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Big wheel keep on turning, they keep on burning, and we're rolling on the river, and we're rolling on the river. Oh my God! Let's bring your sashaying! Repeat! He's shimmying! Run! Run for the hills! The audience cheered wildly. It was encouraged Red Gal to go harder. No! What are you doing? Don't applaud! Don't cheer! Run! He's shimmying! He's getting into this! That's it! Trixie's out of here! If you come down on the river, I bet you're gonna find some ponies who live. You don't have to worry if you got no money. Ponies on the river are happy to give. By this point, the whole audience was joining in as well. Big wheel keep on turning, Proudberry keep on burning, and we're rolling on the river. We're rolling on the river. We're rolling. In evening, Twilight, do you got the spell ready? Ready as I'll ever be. Aiming, alright, don't worry. Jasper's got the pizza open. Ready? Aim. We're rolling on the river. Woo! We're rolling. Pizza spell, fire! Pizza spell, firing! Roll. Oh. Hawaiian. End of episode, everybody! Thank you, Ponyville, and good night. She sent a bow to a thunderous applause. This episode was fun. The comedy hit well. Next time, well, I've been thinking about it. I've been trying to decide whether to make fun of Reality Check before a certain big event happens in November, or hit you guys with some Fallout so damn hard. Give me tomorrow to think about it. Well, down, thousands more to go. See you then.